Johnny Dollar.
Ed Barringer, Continental Insurance and Trust.
Well, nice to hear from you, Ed. It's been a long time since
Johnny,
you called me.
listen.
Yeah?
I've already telephoned the airport, made a reservation.
Well, good for you. Have a happy trip.
No, Johnny. No, that reservation's for you. It's on the next flight down to New York.
For me? What for?
So hop into your car and get on out to the airport just as fast as you can. You've only got a few minutes to make that flight.
Whoa, hold on. Wait a minute.
I'll meet you there at Bradley Field, give you the address of the man in New York and all the details.
Yeah, what man?
His name is Lucian R. Look, Johnny, there isn't time. Get on out there to the airport.
Yeah, you look. Unless I know why you want me to get down and see this Lucian, whatever his name is. Well?
Sure, I'll tell you why.
Well?
Johnny, it's to prevent a murder.
Oh?
CBS Radio brings you Bob Bailey in the exciting adventures of the man with the action-packed expense account, America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to the Continental Insurance and Trust Company, Home Office, Hartford, Connecticut. Following is an account of expenses incurred during my investigation of the back-to-the-back matter. The gas tank of my car was dry as a bone, so expense account item 1 is $5.30 to fill it up. Then I tore on out to Bradley Field, and sure enough, Ed Barringer was waiting for me.
Over here, Johnny.
Oh, yeah.
It's this plane over here.
Hi, Ed. How are you?
Here now. Here's your ticket.
Okay.
And here's Mr. Fletcher's address down in New York.
Fletcher?
Lucian R. Fletcher, head of the Fletcher Advertising Agency.
Oh, wants to buy some commercial time on my radio show?
No.
Well, he better talk to the folks at CBS.
No, Johnny, listen.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You mentioned that nasty word, murder.
He phoned me just before I called you. That agency of his is a small one, but prosperous. Up until a couple of years ago, when he took on a partner, it was practically a one-man operation.
So?
His partner's name is William Spade, Bill Spade. And what Fletcher called about was to tell me that Spade is out to murder him.
Why?
To get his hands on the advertising agency. What else? So jump onto that plane.
No, wait, Ed. If Fletcher knows this, if he's sure of it...
He's sure of it, all right. So, Johnny?
Well, look, then why doesn't he call in the police? Have this guy, Spade, locked up?
Spade is out of town on some business down in Philadelphia. But he's due back sometime today. There in New York.
Now, Ed, look,
Johnny, old man Fletcher isn't the kind to go off half-cocked, to come up with a false alarm. So go on down there, find out exactly what's up, do whatever's necessary to nail down his partner, and... Well, go on, Johnny. Your plane's about ready for takeoff.
Okay. As long as you're paying the freight. But now listen.
Johnny, you haven't any time.
Oh, I'll make it all right. Relax. Listen, as soon as we take off, you telephone Lieutenant Randy Singer.
Sure.
New York Police
Anything
Department, 18th Precinct, Homicide Division.
Yeah, okay.
Tell him what you just told me, and then I'm on my way.
Sure. Now get aboard before you're too late.
Sure. Item 2 on the expense account is, well, no, the ticket for the flight was already paid for, and, of course, I'd hate to be accused of padding the old expense account, or should I say getting caught. So, item 2 is a dime for a phone call as soon as I landed there in New York, and not to Mr. Fletcher's address at 614 East 52nd Street.
18th Precinct. Conroy.
Yeah, Conroy, this is Johnny Dollar. Let me talk to Lieutenant Singer.
Oh, hiya, Dollar. How's the private eye business these days?
Special investigator to you, copper.
Don't like being called a private eye, huh?
What's your guess?
And listen, us cops don't like being called cops anymore.
Yeah, so I've heard. But haven't you heard, Conroy, that a rose by any other name?
Now, what's that mean?
Well, you figure that one out. Now, will you switch me over to Randy Singer?
Afraid I can't do that.
What?
The lieutenant pulled out here about 20 minutes ago in one of the squad cars.
Oh.
Big emergency or something, like aren't they all, but he'll be back.
Well, look, do you know if he got a call from up in Hartford, Connecticut a while ago?
No, not that I know of. But I only come on duty about half an hour ago.
Okay.
But I know he made a lot of frantic phone calls before he took off, if that means anything.
Well, does it?
Also, he took the medico along with him.
Well, listen, Conroy, when he comes in, tell him I'll be over at 614 East 52nd Street.
614?
At the apartment of a Mr. Lucian R. Fletcher.
Now, Dollar, you...
Tell him if he can make it, I want to see him over there.
614 East 52nd
Yeah, that's right.
Street. Now, listen.
Gotta go now. Item 3 is 640 for a taxi into 614. For some silly reason or other, the doorman at that snooty address hesitated about steering me up to Mr. Fletcher's apartment. That is, until I flashed my credentials at him and mumbled the magic word emergency. Then I took the elevator up to the 9th floor.
Come in, Johnny. Come on in.
Huh?
Conroy phoned me you were on your way over here. How are you, boy?
Randy. Oh, and Ed Berenger up in Hartford did call you.
Yeah, that's right. So I came on over here to see Mr. Fletcher, find out what all the excitement was about.
Well, what'd you find out?
Now, why don't you just come on into the library and see for yourself?
Sure. I will. But if you ask me, Randy seems... Huh?
Yeah.
This is Mr. Fletcher?
That's Mr. Fletcher.
Dead.
That's right, Johnny. Dead as a doornail.
Who'd you vote for in the last general election? You may not realize it, but you voted for someone you probably never heard of and whose name may not have appeared on your ballot. And who was this stranger? He was the elector appointed by your state to decide who was to be our president. Every state has as many electors as it has representatives and senators in Congress combined. Collectively, they're called the Electoral College. And it's the members of the Electoral College alone who can vote for the President of the United States. Your vote was cast for the group of electors that pledged itself to vote for either the Democratic or Republican nominee. But you did not vote directly for either candidate. A roundabout way of doing things? Yes. But you must remember that when the Constitution was written, there was no television, no radio, and few newspapers. The majority of voters had never traveled more than a few miles from their own homes. In these circumstances, it was impossible for a voter in Maine to know about the great public figures of New York or Pennsylvania, Virginia, or South Carolina. There were not even any political parties to guide him. And so the voter in Maine didn't try to do the impossible. He voted for someone who did know the great men of the times and who could render an intelligent decision as to which one of them should make the best president. The system has its faults. 3 times in our history, the man who got the most votes from the people was not elected president because he did not get the most votes in the Electoral College. Yet no one today seriously proposes to abolish the Electoral College, because by and large, the people believe that in spite of its drawbacks, the present system of electing our president ensures that your country and mine shall be our country, under God.
And now, Act 2 of yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Yeah, Johnny, somebody came in here and finished him off with just exactly one nice, clean shot through the heart.
Uh-huh. Any sign of a struggle, Randy? Anything like that?
No, sir. So it must have been somebody that he knew that let him in here himself.
Well, I'll buy that all right. And it kind of proves the old man was right in his fears after all.
Huh?
When, Randy? Any idea when Mr. Fletcher was murdered?
Well, I got that call from your insurance agent up in Hartford early this morning. I tried calling Mr. Fletcher at his office, but they told me he hadn't come in yet.
Yeah?
So I tried calling him here. No answer. So I grabbed Doc Snyder, and he was sure that Fletcher hadn't left the place. Well, I borrowed the key, and the Doc and I came up here.
Randy, you haven't answered my question.
Oh, according to the Doc, it happened sometime very early this morning, right after midnight.
Uh-huh. I see.
Doc and a couple of boys from the lab just left.
Oh? Did they find anything, Randy? Any clues?
Not a thing to work on. All they know is that he was shot through the heart and what he was shot with. And believe me, Johnny, that bullet was placed just exactly right.
Well, now, what do you mean by that?
Well, just take a good look at it right there.
Well, now, what under the sun is that? Some kind of a bulletproof vest?
Yeah, that's what I thought until Doc Snyder looked at it. No, Johnny, it's a kind of a corset.
Corset?
Yeah, that's right, a kind of a back support that was made for him especially, on account of some kind of sacro lumbar trouble or something.
Oh, yeah, sacrolumbar support.
Yeah, that's it.
I've never seen one quite like this. This thing's almost like a suit of armor.
Sure. That's why I say it was a lucky shot. I mean, the shot had to be placed exactly right. Inch or two on either side, and one of those wide steel ribs would have bounced it off, or at least kept it from going straight into his heart.
Oh, now wait a minute. A 38 slug pack's a lot of wallop.
Yeah, only this was a little 22. But now listen.
Yeah?
That insurance man, the one who called and said you were coming on down here?
Ed Behringer.
Yeah. Well, he told me that Fletcher'd been expecting something like this.
That's right,
Yeah, he said that Fletcher made no bones about who might try.
That's right. The one man who might stand to benefit from his insurance. And somehow we have to find him.
Yeah, well, who's that?
Randy, in his advertising business, he had a partner.
Oh?
And it seems this partner, a man named William Spade.
Oh, wait a minute. That's probably the boys with the meat wagon. And come on to pick them up.
Okay, I'll let him in. Okay, boys, you can come.
I beg your pardon?
Who are you?
Why, my name's Spade, Bill Spade. I'm Mr. Fletcher's partner.
What's that?
So you're Bill Spade, huh?
Yes.
Well, my name is Dollar, Johnny Dollar.
The insurance investigator?
That's right.
And is that a policeman I see in there in the library? Mr. Dollar, is something wrong here?
Where have you been, Mr. Spade?
Why, I just got in from Philadelphia. I was down there on some important agency business.
Just
But
got
now
back,
what-
huh? When?
Well, my plane got in about half an hour ago, maybe 45 minutes. Well, here. Here's my ticket. You can check on it.
Yeah, maybe I will. Where did you stay in Philadelphia?
At the Bellevue Stratford. But why? What's wrong around here? Where is Mr. Fletcher?
Just take it easy, Mr. Spade.
But I've got to see him on a business matter.
You do, huh?
Yes, it's very important, about a new client of ours. It has to be acted on at once.
Well, I'm afraid it's going to have to wait.
I called the office from the airport, and they said he wasn't in yet, so I came on over here. Now, where is he, and what's this all about, Mr. Dollar?
So you claim you were down in Philadelphia when your business partner was shot.
That's right, I was. Shot? Mr. Fletcher was shot?
Real surprised.
Where is he? Let me see him.
I said take it easy.
But good heavens, Mr.
Take
Dollar.
it easy. And if this business matter is so all-fired important, well, hadn't you better be down at the office taking care of it?
Now, Johnny.
Well, Mr. Spade?
Oh, yes, of course. Of course I should.
Sure you should. So why don't you just run along?
No, wait.
After all, Mr. Fletcher's in no condition to run your ad agency.
That's the
But
understatement of all time.
I can't believe it. Mr. Fletcher dead.
Oh, you can't, huh?
This is terrible. Have you any idea who could have done this to him?
Are you kidding?
What do you mean?
All right, now, Spade.
Yeah, Mr. Spade, you'd better get on down to that office of yours.
Huh?
And as soon as we can tell you anything, we will get in touch.
Believe
Johnny,
me,
no, wait a
believe me,
minute.
if there's anything I can do, please call
Oh,
on
now,
me.
just don't you worry about that. But get on down to the office and take over.
Now, wait,
Go
that's
right ahead,
Johnny.
Mr.
Now, wait.
Spade. I'll be in touch with you.
Very well, Mr. Dollar.
Now, what are you... What's got into you, Johnny? You're the one just got through telling me he's the one that must have killed Mr. Fletcher.
So how you going to prove it?
Well, we got no other suspect, have we? And you let him go.
Look here, this plane ticket.
Yeah, I saw it. I saw him shove it into your hand.
I knew that Spade was supposed to be in Philly, that he was due to come back here today, so when I pulled into the airport, I carefully checked the incoming flight schedule.
So what?
Oh, this flight was due in all right, and from Philadelphia. Just when he said, half or three-quarters of an hour ago.
Yeah, all right. So what? That doesn't prove he was actually on that flight.
Randy, I think he was.
That ticket could have been used by somebody else.
Well, it's easy enough to check on, but I doubt it very much.
All right. But if you're right about that, if he was down there in Philly, then your first theory about him is all wrong. How could he have murdered Mr. Fletcher?
Sounds impossible, doesn't it?
Of course. It is.
Want to bet?
He looks just like his father. We've all heard statements like this, but have you ever stopped to wonder exactly why we resemble our relatives? One man did, Thomas Hunt Morgan. Born in Lexington, Kentucky in 1866, Morgan's interest in science took him to the University of Kentucky and Johns Hopkins. While his colleagues were choosing fields in physics and chemistry, Morgan's interest turned to something more personal, man himself. Why do we inherit physical characteristics from our parents? To find the answer, Morgan spent years studying the common fruit fly. he bred generation after generation, constantly observing the traits produced. He then computed mathematical tables and analyzed the whole question of heredity in terms of the nucleus. The nucleus, he observed, was the center of activity in every cell. As a result, he developed his theory of the gene. This theory, simplified, holds that each human cell contains hundreds of units called genes, and each gene carries a physical characteristic from its parents. For this outstanding work, Morgan was awarded the Nobel Prize for Physiology and Medicine in 1933. Thomas Hunt Morgan, an American scientist with the philosophy that somewhere there must be an answer. Let's find it.
Now, Act 3 of yours truly, Johnny Dollar, and the Back to the...
Expense account item 4, 10 cents for a call to the Fletcher Advertising Agency.
No, sir. Mr. Spade isn't in yet.
All right, then, miss.
He telephoned that he would stop off and see Mr. Fletcher before coming in, at Mr. Fletcher's apartment.
And he called you from the airport, didn't he?
Yes, sir.
And probably left the door of the phone booth open so you could hear the background noise of the planes and so on.
What?
Sure. So you know he actually was calling from the airport. Item 5, 60 cents for half a dozen calls to various departments of the airline company. And finally, I managed to get hold of the gal who'd been stewardess on the flight in from Philadelphia.
Yes, kind of light sandy hair and blue eyes.
Uh-huh.
And he wore a dark brown tweed suit. Oh, and his briefcase had the initials WS on it.
Yeah, then it must have been Bill Spade, all right. But how come you remembered him so well out of your whole list of passengers?
Oh, how could I forget him?
What do you mean by that?
Oh, Mr. Dollar, from takeoff to landing, that whole flight was perfect. But Mr. William Spade insisted he was airsick, or on the verge of it.
Oh?
He must have pushed the call button a dozen times. Mary and I were busier with him than with all the other passengers put together.
Oh, I see.
Mary swore he was perfectly all right. That didn't keep him from pushing that button.
Yeah, almost as though he was deliberately calling attention to himself.
Yes, certainly looked that way. But why?
I think I have a pretty good idea. Thanks a lot. Spade told me he'd stayed over in Philadelphia at the Bellevue Stratford. Item 6 is $1.30 for a call down there.
Oh, that's right, sir. Mr. Spade got his key from me and went up to his room at about, 10 o'clock last night.
You mean he said he was going to his room?
That's right. Then he checked out about 8 o'clock this morning.
I see.
If it means anything, he mentioned the importance of catching a plane to New York. He mentioned it several times to both me and the cashier.
I'm sure he did.
Almost like a kid about to take his first airplane ride.
Oh, maybe it was just to impress you with the time he left your hotel.
Oh? Well, what do you mean by that, sir?
Nothing. Forget it. Thanks. From the minute Spade handed me that plane ticket as an alibi, I felt sure he had murdered Mr. Fletcher. As for all his trouble to establish he'd been in Philadelphia that morning, then aboard the plane, then at the airport, well, all very clever. But where was he? What was he doing before he checked out of the Bellevue? And don't forget, it's only a short hop from Philly to New York. Oh, I knew what Spade's answer would be, that he was in his hotel room asleep. And I'm sure that no one could prove otherwise. No one, that is, except Spade himself, could prove he left that hotel during the night, gone to New York under another name, killed his partner, then got back in plenty of time to check out of the Bellevue at 8 a.m. So unless I could somehow trick him. Item 7, 85 cents for a cab to his office.
Yes, come in, Mr. Dollar, and sit down.
Ah, all right. Thanks.
I'm sorry for the appearance of my desk, but with all that's happened and with the affairs of my new client to take care of...
Your new client?
Well, after all, with Mr. Fletcher gone...
Hey, it looks to me like you have every newspaper in town piled up here. But they wouldn't write about Mr. Fletcher unless he were dead or murdered.
What?
Tell me, how did you and Fletcher get along?
I suppose I might have expected you to ask something like that, just as a matter of routine questioning. Your questioning of anyone who knew him.
Maybe.
But what did you mean by saying the papers would only print a story if he were dead?
Just let me ask the questions, huh?
Well, of course.
Well?
Mr. Fletcher and I ran this business together.
Personally, how'd you get along?
He was a very difficult person, Mr. Dollar. Created many embarrassing situations here in the office.
Embarrassing for you?
Yes. But I blame it all on the constant pain from his back. You see, he had a very serious condition, sacrolumbar.
Yes,
trouble.
I know that.
But I had to admire and respect him. He was a genius. Now, just look at the way he built up this agency.
Yeah. Be nice to have, wouldn't it? Especially by you. In other words, you had plenty of motive for killing him.
Yes, of course. But if you think for 1 minute...
And I'm sure you had no trouble getting hold of a key to his apartment.
Mr. Dollar...
Who knows? Maybe Mr. Fletcher gave you one. After all, his own partner.
Dollar, if this is an attempt to be facetious... Look here, it's bad enough that Mr. Fletcher is dead.
Now, that's the second time you've said that.
Said what?
That Fletcher is dead.
Well, of course I... What?
Did I say that he was? Or the lieutenant there at the apartment?
You said he was shot. He must be dead.
You mentioned his back trouble.
Look here now.
I myself saw that corset he was wearing, those wide, heavy stays made of steel. Oh,
you mean...
Why, it would bounce off it like hail off a roof. Now, a big gun, a .38. But you forgot all about that regular suit of armor he had around him.
But he fell. I saw him fall.
Sure you did.
And I thought the bullet... But if I didn't kill him, I was sure I had. I'd aimed for his heart, and when he fell... When he... Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Fletcher is dead. And now that you've told me who did it...
Dollar, please, listen.
You, mind if I use your phone? Ah, it's funny how a man like that can plan a thing so carefully, carry it out so carefully, and then when he's caught, lose his head and blab all over the place. Yeah. Spade even made a grab for the little .22 pistol he'd used and had right there in his desk. Well, it'll be good as evidence. Expense account total, including a good meal on the fare back to dear old Hartford? $25.80. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, starring Bob Bailey. Originates in Hollywood and is written, produced, and directed by Jack Johnstone. Heard in our cast were Virginia Gregg, Gene Tatum, Frank Gerstle, James McCallion, Herb Vigran, Jack Edwards, and Forrest Lewis. Be sure to join us next week, same time and station, for another exciting story of yours truly, Johnny Dollar. This is John Wall speaking.
Johnny Dollar has come to you through the worldwide facilities of the United States Armed Forces Radio and Television Service.
From Hollywood, it's time now for
Johnny Dollar.
Earl Foreman, Johnny.
Earl, I just left you down in Florida. Where are you?
Right where you left me, right here in Sarasota.
Oh. Well, if you're worried about my expense account for that case we cleaned up together, I was just about to mail it to you.
Why don't you bring it down here instead?
Huh?
A couple of hours after you hopped aboard your plane back to Hartford, I got a phone call from Bill Hall. Remember him?
Fellow who runs that men's shop on the Tamiami Trail?
That's right, Webb. Bill owns the place.
Sure. I bought a sport jacket and a couple of pair of slacks there at Webb's.
Well, somebody cleaned him out of about $10,000 worth of merchandise last night.
Oh? And you'd insured it for him?
Yes, I'd also issued a $10,000 policy on the man he had there as a night watchman.
Earl.
Yeah, Johnny. The police think he was murdered.
Okay. I'll grab the first plane I can.
Bob Bailey in the exciting adventures of the man with the action-packed expense account. America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
And now, Act One of yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to the Tri-State Life and Casualty Company, Sarasota office. Following is an account of expenses incurred during my investigation of the net of circumstance matter. Expense account item 1, $75, plane fare and incidentals, Hartford to Tampa, Florida. There I'd figured on changing planes, but Earl Foreman met me in his car, and by 7 p.m. we arrived in Sarasota. We drove straight to Webb's. The place was in a mess.
Well, I'll say this, Mr. Pullman. You certainly didn't waste any time.
Well, I didn't see any reason to, Bill. Johnny, you remember Bill Hall.
Yeah, sure. How are you, Bill?
Not good, Dollar. Not good. Look at the place.
Yeah, I see. You've lost a lot of your stock.
We haven't finished checking yet. I sent the boys home to get some sleep, but as nearly as we can tell, whoever did this got away with over $9,000 worth of clothing and accessories, and heaven knows what they did to old Jimson.
Jimson?
Jimson Cooley, the night watchman.
Earl, you said over the phone that you thought he's been murdered.
Yes, sir. Somehow they must have got old Jimson to open the back door for them. Then, when he saw what they were up to, he tried to fight them off. You'll see the marks of a big struggle out back. And bits of his clothing were lying around, covered with blood.
But no sign of him.
Johnny, the police figure that they must have killed him and then dumped his body somewhere.
You keep saying they, Bill.
Well, they had so little time that, well, one man couldn't have done it alone very well. You see, it all happened between the regular rounds of the PD's prowl car. Last time this sort of thing happened, there were 3 men in on it.
Well, you been robbed before?
About a year ago, something like $18,000 worth. The police managed to track down 2 of them.
Oh? What about the third?
Well, he was never identified, or rather, he was identified but never located. Anyhow, it was after that we put old Jimson on as night watchman.
I wonder about that third man. Was your store the only place that Jimson watched?
Yeah, after all, he was a pretty old man. I gave him the job to help him out as much as anything else. And I figured his just being around would keep something like this from happening again. I guess I was wrong.
Jimson used to run a shrimp boat in his spare time. He used to work the spot east of Humpback Bridge a lot, south of City Island.
That's right.
Come to think of it, I heard a boat working out there last night.
The point is, he couldn't really make a living at it, so he was glad to take what little we could give him for this watchman's job.
And in return, somebody's taken his life.
I'm afraid so.
Of course, you can't be sure until his body's found.
What are you thinking of, Johnny?
Well, if by any chance this Jimson Cooley isn't dead...
The police say that according to all the evidence...
If he's still alive, he's the one person who could tell us something about whoever cleaned out this shop. Have the police found any actual clues to work on?
Well, no.
That's where you're wrong, Sid.
Sergeant Drummond.
That's right. Johnny boy, how are you?
Hiya, Sergeant.
So they dragged you in on this.
Yeah, I'm afraid so.
Well, you know how it is, Drummond. When the police can't get anywhere, you call in the experts.
Oh, and I thought you was a friend of mine, Mr. Pullman.
You said that Bill was wrong, Sergeant.
What's it?
When he told me your boys haven't found any clues to who did this job and knocked off Jimson Cooley.
Knocked him off, huh?
Well, now, what's that mean?
One of the boys picked up a drunk last night right in this neighborhood.
Yeah?
Late this morning, when he'd sobered up enough, we sent him home. But a little while ago, he comes barging back to headquarters. Seems he'd suddenly remembered something he saw around here last night.
Go on, Sergeant.
Oh, it must have been around 2 or 3 a.m. That's when we figured the robbery occurred.
And the murder of Jimson Cooley.
Yeah?
Please, get to the point, Drummond.
Well, he was holding up that building across the street, minding his own business and his bottle, when all of a sudden he saw a car come round from in back of this building and head north on the trail. Maybe 2 of them, he wasn't sure.
Anyhow, the one he noticed was a little pickup truck.
But in his condition, I suppose he didn't get a license number.
Didn't need to, Johnny, because he recognized that truck.
Oh?
Yes, sir. And he said it was all loaded down with something, with an old piece of canvas stretched over it.
The stuff that was stolen from me.
Maybe.
You say he recognized that pickup? Whose was it?
Yeah.
Johnny, it was that old 1930 model he used to haul shrimp in.
What?
Whose?
That's
You mean-
right. That's right. It was that old truck of Jimson Cooley.
Act two of yours truly, Johnny Dollar, in a moment.
And now for another episode in the life of Sergeant Donald Bellwether, my husband.
Good morning, Mrs. Bellwether. Would my lady prefer to have her breakfast in bed this morning?
Oh, well, perfect husband. Thank you, darling.
Ah, here's the tray with the coffee, the toast, and the orange. Oh, fine. I forgot the orange juice. Hold the tray, honey. I'll be right back.
Oh, darling, what happened?
Oh, I stubbed my toe in the corner of the dresser.
Uh-huh, the National Safety Council was right.
The what?
Last night I read something in a National Safety Council pamphlet.
Oh, Reba,
And-
how can you sit there talking about a pamphlet when I'm dying a slow, tortuous death?
Oh, come over here, darling. I'm sorry.
All right. Now, what's this about the National Safety Council? Did they predict I would stub my toe this morning?
No, silly. It's just a coincidence. Only last night I read the statistics that prove that more home accidents occur in the bedroom of all places.
Yeah?
Not the bathroom or the kitchen or the home workshop. The bedroom.
Yeah. Okay, from now on, when I walk around the bedroom, I'm going to wear my combat boots instead of these open-toed huaraches.
Well, that might help, dear. But what everyone should be most careful of is taking medicine in the dark.
Okay, my living safety encyclopedia. I will now fetch your orange.
Oh, you're sweet. And it's just too bad that you nice men are so prone to accidents in the home. And the reason is because you brave men usually tackle the hazardous jobs around the house.
Hey, I'll remember those kind words as I slowly limp back to the kitchen.
One thing in your favor, though, Sarge. Married men stand a better chance of avoiding fatal accidents in the home.
Now, is that a fact?
Mm-hmm. You know, in one state, 75% of the men involved in home mishaps were unmarried.
Well, I'm sure glad I'm married.
Because the accident odds are better?
You know, because I like my wife. Even when she first wakes up in the morning.
That's my Donald. That's my doll.
And now, Act two of yours truly, Johnny Dollar, and the net of circumstance matter.
Yeah, everything indicated that whoever burglarized Webb's haberdashery there in Sarasota had murdered the night watchman, old Jimson Cooley. That is, until somebody reported having seen a loaded pickup truck at the time of the robbery pull away from the back of the store. And whose truck was it?
Yes, sir. He swears it was that old 1930 pickup of Jimson Cooley's.
And he says it went north on the Tamiami Trail.
Yes, sir.
Well, what have you done about it, Sergeant?
Alerted every police department from here to the Georgia state line to be on the lookout for him.
Didn't you know that truck was missing from wherever Jimson lived?
Well, we hadn't actually got around to checking on his place yet.
You thought he was murdered, and you didn't even bother to check his home?
Well, we called his wife, Johnny, and when she said he hadn't come home with all the evidence of a big fight out back of this store.
Oh, fine.
You can't blame him, Johnny. All the blood back there, bits of Jimson's clothing that were torn off on.
Look, maybe it's just a wild hunch, but Earl,
Yes, Johnny?
you suppose Doc Crutcher's at home?
Probably. Lives just up the street from my house.
Oh, we got a doctor connected with headquarters, you know, Johnny.
Phil, how do we get out the back way?
Why, right out here, Johnny. What's this hunch you've got?
Tell you, Earl, and it'd probably turn out to be wrong.
Yeah.
Now, you can see for yourself, Dollar, why we figured him a dead one. Old Jimson, I mean.
Yeah.
This busted railing, blood spattered around, and look there, where somebody hit the dirt.
A pool of blood there, too. You must have lost plenty.
And also, we picked up a short length of lead pipe with blood on it.
Is this the piece of cloth from the shirt he was wearing?
Yeah, Johnny, it's from a shirt I gave him. Torn off in the fight.
Oh, well, I guess we must have overlooked that little piece.
Yeah. And maybe that isn't all. Mind if I keep it?
Oh, sure, go ahead. Well, what do you mean?
Come on, Earl. If you feel like driving me around a bit, there are a couple of people I'd like to see.
Sure.
No, wait a minute.
We'll see you later. Yeah, it was a hunch. Nothing else.
But I learned a long time ago that sometimes it pays to play a hunch for all it's worth, particularly when you haven't anything real solid to work on. Ignoring Earl's questions, I had him drive me to Doc Crutcher's home out on St. Armand's Key. Fortunately, he was at home. Even better, we found him in his study poring over a microscope.
Sure, Johnny. I'd be glad to, just as soon as I finish making this hemoglobin count.
Well, there's no hurry, Doc. I'll drop by and check with you later.
Jimson Cooley, huh?
We'll see.
Look, Johnny, do you mind telling me what this is all about?
Not until I'm sure myself, Earl. Listen, do you think you can find out where old Jimson's wife lives?
Well, sure, I guess I could.
Don't you mean widow, Johnny?
Maybe.
Well, last I heard.
Everything I've heard, well, it doesn't all tie up.
But, Johnny, if Jimson's still alive...
That's what I'm banking on. Come on, Earl. The Cooley place, far out on the edge of town, was a shack and nothing more. In the darkness, it didn't look much better than the beat-up chicken house at the back of it. As for the chickens, well, half of them were asleep out in the yard until we got there.
Yes, I'm coming. Yes, what... Oh, Mr. Pullman.
Mrs. Cooley, this is Mr. Johnny Dollar.
Listen now, Mr. Pullman. They found Jimson's body yet?
Well, no. As a matter of fact...
Well, I sure hope they do. That's all I got to say. Because if they don't, at least what Miss Canterwell told me today, if they don't, I might have to wait 5-6 years before I can collect that insurance that Webb's bought on him. Gad! Well, got any news about him or not?
Johnny?
You don't seem to care much whether your husband's alive or not, Mrs. Cooley.
Now, why should I? You lazy bum. If it wasn't for me raising these heads. I said, sky! When he was shrimping and selling them for bait to them Yankees that come down to fish around the other winter, he done pretty good. We had meat on the table now and then, besides chicken. But ever since they gotten that soft job sitting around that store every night.
Did you notify the police when he failed to come home this morning?
I did not.
No?
Besides, when I seen that one of them nets was missing. You see where he keeps them hung over the limb of that tree out there?
Mrs. Cooley...
Well, what I figured is maybe he'd gone out to do some more shrimping. Or else he'd taken it out and sold it so as he could buy some more of that rot gut he's been drinking lately. So I got this broom handy by the door.
What do you mean?
To keep him out so he wouldn't try to come in and beat me.
Beat you?
Sure, like he always does when he's been drinking. And then when he didn't come home at all,
Mrs. Cooley.
when Miss Canterwell stopped by and told me he'd been killed. Well, you know who I think done it?
Who?
One of that gang that tried to rob Webb's last year.
Now, why do you think that?
Because Jimson told me one of them was around town. That's why.
Jimson knew who he was and didn't report it to the police?
Well, how should I know?
I wonder why not.
Now, look, if you all didn't come around to pay me my insurance, what is it you want?
Well, what I really stopped by for, Mrs. Cooley, was to see if you'd sell me one of your chickens.
What?
Yeah. Why, sure. Only it'll cost you money. Maybe 75 cents?
All right. Here's $1, and we'll call it even.
Well, thank you. Here, chick, 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 chick. Now, you look out for them fancy clothes of yours, and I'll wring its neck. There you are. Only I suppose you want it plucked, too.
No, thanks. Suppose you just give me the head.
Eh?
Yeah, you can have the rest of it for dinner tomorrow.
What?
And come on, Earl. Let's get back to St. Armand's Key.
I'm sorry, Johnny, but I really ought to have some of the materials down at my office for putting that specimen you gave me under the microscope. Of course, if you could wait until morning.
Oh, sure, why not? Once more, I could use a little shut-eye. But here.
Yeah.
Take along a sample of the blood from this, too, will you?
You've been out raiding somebody's chicken coop?
Well, you may want it for comparison. If you know what I mean.
Yes, Johnny, I think I do.
Well, I don't.
Earl, why don't you and I go home and get some sleep?
Act 3 of yours truly, Johnny Dollar, in a moment.
Do you know who said, "That man is free who is protected from injury"? Those words came from Daniel Webster, one of the most eloquent orators in American history. Webster knew that a man could not be free unless he lived in a country which recognized his right to freedom and created laws to protect that freedom. A slave state may say that its citizens are free, but as long as a single citizen can be harmed by the whim of a country's rulers, true freedom does not exist. A man is free only if his rights to freedom are protected. Remember the words of Daniel Webster. They are part of your American heritage. The free man must be protected from injury.
And now, Act Three of yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Early the next morning, I got a phone call from Sergeant Drummond down at headquarters.
Yes, sir, Johnny. Some of the boys found him laying in his car on a little wagon trail just off Bee Ridge Road.
Jimson Cooley?
Jimson Cooley. Must have been laying there unconscious ever since the burglar slugged him and took him out there. But he's a rugged old cuss, so he's in pretty good shape now.
What did he say about that burglary, Sergeant?
Same as we figured. Man made him open the back door, beat him up, cleaned out the place, and probably thought he'd killed him. So he drove him out to that side road and left him there.
What about the stuff that was stolen?
Must have transferred it to his own car when he left Jimson there.
Was Jimson able to identify him?
Said he claimed to be the man we never did get for robbing that store the first time. You want to talk to Jimson?
Yes, Sergeant. I'll be right over. I had Earl drive me down to headquarters. I saw Jimson Cooley, talked to him, but learned nothing from him I didn't already know. He was a disagreeable old coot, the sort who would get drunk and beat his wife. He still wore his badly torn clothes, and yes, he had a couple of cuts and bad bruises. But were they enough to account for all the blood we'd found in back of the store? I asked Earl to drive me over to Doc Crutch's office.
Well, just finished, Johnny.
And?
I'm sorry, but the blood that was spilled out in back of that store was not chicken blood. But...
Well, now I see what you were driving at, Johnny. You figured maybe Jimson had done the robbery himself.
Wait, Earl.
Then he'd covered the place with chicken blood to back up that story of a fight with some burglar.
Oh, I think he was in a fight, all right.
Huh?
But I don't think he lost. Doc?
As I started to say, I wanted to check the blood on that piece of his shirt you brought me here in the office where I have a record of Jimson's blood type. I got it when I made his insurance examination.
Or was it his? On the shirt?
It was human blood, all right, but not Jimson Cooley's.
All right, then I guess his story of having been forced to open the store, then beat up and knocked out and left out there in his car by the burglar is true.
Wrong, Earl.
Well, what do you mean? Why not?
Didn't you say you heard a shrimp boat out on the bay last night?
Sure, but what's that got
Cooley's wife said one of those heavy-weighted shrimp nets was missing, didn't she?
Well, yes, I
And remember this. Bill Hall said that one man wouldn't have had time to take all that stuff out of his store alone.
So maybe there were two burglars, and I still don't
Jimson said there was only one, so I think he was helping him. And, Earl, do you think for a minute that Jimson lost all the blood we saw out in back of that store? You saw him there at headquarters.
Well, he didn't exactly look as though he
Of course
could...
he didn't.
But then, Johnny...
First, we wanted to find Jimson's body, but then he turned up alive. Now we'd better find the body of this other man, whoever he is.
You're right, Johnny. Then you'll really have a case.
Sure. So, Earl, let's go fishing.
Fishing?
Well, you know how it is. When I'm really stuck in a case, everything all muddled up, well, it's time to relax and kind of let your head clear. Come on, let's go. Sure, Earl thought I was crazy, but we unhitched the boat from his private dock and headed up the bayou. Then passed under Humpback Bridge and into the outer end of Sarasota Bay, out toward City Island, where WSPB has its radio tower. I tied on a heavy trolling rig and tossed the line overboard.
Johnny, you're crazy to use that heavy rig out here. The water's real shallow. All it'll do is drag the bottom.
A little slower, Earl.
Here in the bay, we use live shrimp to get sea trout. You know, about a number 2 hook and no sinker, we bottom fish.
Slower, will you?
Okay, whatever you say.
And so we trolled back and forth over the place where Jimson ran his shrimp line.
Johnny, it's no good fishing here with that heavy tackle.
If this is where he got his shrimp, there ought to be fish or something. Maybe I'm after that something.
I think you've gone nuts.
10, 15, maybe 20 times I had to reel in the line and take off a clump of seaweed that had gotten tangled in it. Bill began to get impatient. If we were really going to fish, why didn't we do it right? Then suddenly the old fluker started to sink. Hold it, Earl. Kill the engine.
Yeah, what is it?
Just hold your horses.
What under the sun have you tied into, Johnny?
If this line will hold, we may have what I've been looking for.
Can't imagine what kind of a fish would be that big here in the bay. Oh, fine. Fine, fine. All you've done is get snagged up in some old hunk of rotten fish net.
Yeah. Or a shrimp net. If you'll just help me get it aboard.
Sure. Just a little more, Johnny, and I'll be able to reach the part where you've hooked into it. A little more. Yeah, I got it. Now give me a hand.
Right.
Here now. Oh, they put a lot of lead on these nets. But I never thought they could be this. John, look what's in it.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
When Jimson was faced with the man's body wrapped in the net he'd sunk out there in the bay, he broke down and told us what had really happened. Even told us where the stolen stuff was hidden. Yeah, the dead man was one of the gang who'd robbed the store a year ago. He'd persuaded Jimson to help him do it again, offered him $100. But then when he had the stuff, he tried to run out without paying off. So, Jimson had killed him. Now the courts will have to take over. Incidentally, I understand that Webb's is installing a foolproof burglar alarm system. Expense account total $151.50. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, starring Bob Bailey, originates in Hollywood and is written, produced, and directed by Jack Johnstone. Heard in our cast were Lillian Baeff, Vic Perrin, Harry Bartell, Barney Phillips, Bartlett Robinson, and Bill James. Be sure to join us next week, same time and station, for another exciting story of yours truly, Johnny Dollar. This is Dan Cubberly speaking.
Johnny Dollar has come to you through the worldwide facilities of the United States Armed Forces Radio and Television Service.
Johnny Dollar.
Henry Bascom, Johnny, at Four State Insurance Company.
Well, hiya, Hank. It's been a long, long time.
Yeah, I know. Johnny, are you free to come down here and look into something for us?
Henry, as long as somebody pays my expense account, and of course a nice fat fee, I'll go anywhere.
Johnny, for once, you're not going to be able to pad that freewheeling expense account of yours.
Any bets? Why not?
Because the investigation I want you to make is right here in New York City.
Oh, well, there's always the fee to fall back on. How much?
Usual percentage of the face value of the policy.
Okay, only how big is the policy?
Johnny, hold your hat. It's about 200... Well, I mean, it's
what?
just under...
$200?
Johnny.
Listen, Hank, my cut on a policy as small as that wouldn't buy me a sandwich and a cup of coffee.
No, listen.
And I suppose you'll question every penny I put on the expense account.
Look, you didn't...
Why don't you just pay it off and save you and me and the company a lot of time, labor, and soap? What kind of a policy is it?
Straight life.
Huh?
But listen, you didn't let me finish. The face value of this policy is a little under $200,000.
200... Oh?
Yeah. Well?
Hank, my buddy, my bosom pal, for an assignment like that, for the nice commission it's going to pay me, I'd walk to New York.
Only maybe you better grab a plane or a train instead.
Right. I'll be there.
CBS Radio brings you Bob Bailey in the exciting adventures of the man with the action-packed expense account, America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
smoking more now, but enjoying it less. Have a real cigarette, have a Camel. The best tobacco makes the very best smoke. Have a real cigarette, have a Camel. Are you looking for flavor and mildness? Have a real cigarette, have a Camel. The best tobacco makes the very best smoke. Have a real cigarette, a real cigarette, a real cigarette, have a Camel.
If you're smoking more today, but enjoying it less, try Camels. The Camel blend of costly Turkish and domestic tobaccos has never been equaled for rich flavor, easygoing mildness, real smoking satisfaction every time you light up. The best tobacco makes the best smoke.
Have a real cigarette, a real cigarette, a real cigarette, have a Camel.
And now, Act One of yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to the Four State Insurance Company, New York City office. The following is an account of expenses incurred during my investigation of the evaporated clue matter. Expense account item 1, $5.25 for a taxi out to Bradley Field. Item 2, $13 even for a plane to New York and a limousine to Grand Central Station. Then I walked over to Henry's office at 500 Fifth Avenue at the corner of 42nd Street.
Johnny, you really made time. Sit down.
Yeah, thanks. That's because of the tempting offer you made to me over the phone. A policy worth $200,000.
$189,000 to be exact.
Straight line.
Mm-hmm.
On whom?
Mr. Jonathan R. Kenworthy.
Kenworthy?
Very, very wealthy. Retired some years ago after selling off the Kenworthy copper mills.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Been living here in New York for the past 20 years. Big fancy apartment overlooking the East River. 714 East 52nd Street.
Expensive neighborhood.
Oh, I told you he was loaded.
So what happened to him?
He was murdered, Johnny.
Oh?
Yeah.
And who was the beneficiary of this nice, juicy hunk of insurance?
His grandson, Carlton M. Kenworthy. And that's the answer to your next question, too.
Now, what do you mean by that? I was going to ask you if you or the police have any idea who might
have killed him.
Yeah, that's right.
And I told you, this young Carlton Kenworthy, his grandson, who is also the sole heir to all the rest of his estate.
Oh, no, wait a minute. That's a pretty strong accusation, Hank. You have any proof?
None whatsoever. Nor have the police.
But I take it you figure that Carlton had the motive and the opportunity.
And a perfect alibi.
Oh?
Yeah.
And what makes you think he did it? And the police, too?
And the police, too.
Well?
Motive, Johnny. It's as simple as that.
All right, keep talking.
It's simply that nobody else in the world could possibly benefit by old Mr. Kenworthy's death.
Well, now, Hank...
Plus the fact that he had no enemies. None whatsoever, Johnny.
You sound pretty sure of that.
I am. I not only knew him, but I knew a great deal about him.
Oh, but after all, a man who's been head of a company as big as Kenworthy Copper Mills, you know, some disgruntled employee with some imaginary grievances.
Over 20 years ago?
Well...
But even if he'd only retired from that business last month, I'd still say no. Kenworthy was one of the best-loved men I've ever heard of. As for his employees, why, they're the ones he left the business to. He never had a strike, any other kind of labor troubles, despite the size of his plant, because he treated every one of his employees like one of his own kids. This sounds pretty unusual, Johnny, I know. But he was an unusual man.
Oh, I see. But now about this grandson, Carlton Kenworthy.
Well, about as useless a hunk of human being as I've ever seen.
How old is he?
Oh, 30, 32 or 3.
What's he do for a living?
Well, that's the point. He doesn't. Nor has he ever done anything. Despite the fine education, all the world travel his grandfather lavished on him. Johnny, if you want a perfect definition of a playboy, I can give it to you in 3 words. Carlton Manson Kenworthy.
And he gets the whole estate as well as the insurance.
He's known in every nightclub on Manhattan Island. He and that leech Allen something or other who pals around with him.
Allen?
Yeah, Barker or Baxter or something. Theaters, nightclubs, expensive restaurants, all the racetracks when they're open, wherever they're open. And they toss money around like confetti.
Where does Carlton get it?
From his grandfather, who's always sponging off.
What about this pal of his, this Allen, whatever his name is?
Barker. That's his name, Alan Barker.
Well?
He sponges off Carlton. Oh, they're quite a pair, Johnny.
Well, did the grandfather approve of this kind of stuff?
I don't think he really knew what was going on. According to the old man's attorney, who is a friend of mine, he was led to believe that Carlton was investing in various business ventures. The point is, the boy needed money. And the surest way of getting it, plenty of it, was by having his grandfather dead.
Yeah, well, you've built up quite a case, Hank, but it still isn't enough to hang him, not by a long shot. Have the police been able to pin anything on him?
Not yet, apparently. I told you he has a perfect alibi.
When did it happen?
Last Tuesday.
Who's handling the police investigation?
Lieutenant Randolph Singer at the...
Randy Singer? Great. Randy just happens to be one of the best homicide men in this fair city of yours.
Well, he certainly hasn't
Hey,
impressed
listen,
me.
if they've got him working on it, and if you have got a case against Carlton Kenworthy, Hank, I'll see you later.
Where are you going, Johnny?
Over to see Randy Singer.
Sure, Johnny, I'm just as sure as your friend Hank at the insurance company.
Why, Randy?
Well, the way that boy played around. Cost him a fortune. Even more than his grandfather gave him.
You're sure of that?
What do you mean?
Well, the way I get it, Grandpa gave him plenty.
Yeah, but Carlton is up to his ears in debt. Every time the boys raid a plush gambling joint, there he is. He and that hanger-on of his, Alan Barker. Like peas in a pod, those two.
Then he probably welcomed the raids. Sure. Probably kept him from having to pay off some of his losses.
Yeah, he's still in up to his ears. And as long as he's the only one who could possibly benefit from Grandpappy's death, as long as we're sure that nobody else had any reason for killing him, and we are...
How and when and where was he killed?
Tuesday night in his apartment. He was struck on the back of the head with a heavy wrought iron poker from the fireplace. One good wallop, and he was done for.
Hank says that Carlton has an alibi.
Yeah, airtight. I checked it every way I can. From here, that is.
And where's your case against him?
But if you can break that alibi...
But, Randy, if you've checked it
I
out...
said from here. But if that company of yours will pay your expenses to Alaska...
Alaska?
That's right.
Oh, look, with such flimsy evidence...
Will you do it, Johnny?
But now listen,
Just
Randy...
to, let's say, to get me off the hook.
But I'm still not convinced that...
Johnny...
Okay, Randy, sure.
Act two of yours truly, Johnny Dollar, in a moment.
Meet star Stuart Irwin.
Nothing's worse for an actor than a nasty cold. To feel better quickly, I take wonderful four-way cold tablets. The fast way to relieve cold distress.
Right. Tests of all the leading cold tablets proved four-way fastest acting. Four-way starts in minutes to relieve muscular pains, headache, reduce fever, calm upset stomach, also overcomes irregularity.
Take my advice. For your next cold, take four-way cold tablets. The fast way to relieve those cold miseries.
Four-way, only 29 cents.
And now here's a word about another fine product of Grove Laboratories. To get rid of embarrassing dandruff in 3 minutes, change to Fitch Dandruff Remover Shampoo. 3 minutes with Fitch regularly is guaranteed to keep unsightly dandruff away forever. Apply Fitch before wetting hair, rub in 1 minute. Add water, lather 1 minute. Then rinse 1 minute. Every trace of dandruff goes down the drain. 3 minutes with Fitch and embarrassing dandruff's gone. At the same time, Fitch can brighten hair up to 35%. Get Fitch Dandruff Remover Shampoo today. And now, Act Two of yours truly, Johnny Dollar, and the evaporated clue matter.
But why Alaska?
Because that's where Carlton Kenworthy says he was when his grandpappy was murdered.
Well, Randy, that ought to be easy enough to check out.
So I did, Johnny. He made the airline reservation. He was aboard the plane. He got the Juneau on Monday afternoon. He got himself a room at the Baranoff Hotel.
You checked that with the hotel?
By telephone.
Why was he up there?
Who knows? But the hotel says he was.
Well, what did he do with himself?
Apparently took in some of the night spots and flew on back here on Thursday morning. Checked him all the way through.
And his grandfather died on Tuesday.
Oh, Parker.
There's a report on that poker, Lieutenant.
Oh, good.
The prints were pretty badly smudged, but they managed to nail down a couple of them.
Oh? Whose?
Yeah, look at this, Johnny.
Yes, sir. One print from the deceased
And a couple made by Carlton Kenworthy.
Yes, sir.
And why not, Lieutenant?
What? Kenworthy.
After all, as I told you several times, I've often made up the fire for my grandfather there in his apartment. So is there any reason why my fingerprints shouldn't be on that poker that was used to kill him?
He's got a point there, Randy.
Well, listen.
Of course I have.
The fact remains...
And didn't this officer say the prints of both myself and my grandfather were badly smudged?
Yes.
So? Whoever did it wiped off his own prints and part of ours.
Quite possible, Randy.
The fact remains,
The fact
Kenworthy.
remains that I was in Alaska when my grandfather was murdered.
Why, Carlton?
Just a little trip, a little fun, just... Who are you?
Johnny Dollar, investigator for the insurance company.
Well, Dollar, I certainly hope you can accomplish more than these stupid police have. Of
Listen
all the
to me.
stumbling, bumbling... Well,
That's all, Parker.
Yes, sir.
well, Lieutenant, that silly look on your face.
Because I think you killed him. Because you're the only one with any reason
But I
to.
didn't, of course. How could I?
Hey, tell me this, Carlton.
I'll tell you anything I can, Mr. Dollar, if you'll get this incompetent flat-foot off my neck.
Kenworthy.
And, of course, help to solve the murder of my poor, sweet, kind old grandfather.
Okay. Did you make that trip to Alaska alone?
Yes, that's right.
Okay, thanks.
That's all?
That's all. For now.
Very well. And will you keep me advised, Lieutenant, if by some stroke of luck you should happen to make some progress for a change?
Get out, Kenworthy.
Gladly.
Just be sure you stay around, that you don't leave town.
Don't be silly, Lieutenant. Why should I?
Johnny, so help me, if that guy... If I have to...
Okay. Just give me one thing, Randy, an address.
Huh?
Yeah. I could see why Randy'd harbor no love for Carlton Kenworthy. His attitude there at headquarters got under my skin, too. Expense account item 3, $1 even for a cab to Alan Barker's apartment. And I saw immediately why Randy had said they were like two peas in a pod, despite the fact Carlton was a good deal huskier. They were so much alike, I wondered if there was some blood relationship.
Hardly, Mr. Dollar. We're simply good friends, that's all. Our tastes are alike in liquor and women. We like to do the same things, and... Well, that's why we get along so well together, why we're known as the Inseparables.
Alan, did you know that Carlton was going to Alaska?
I certainly did. I drove him to his plane on Monday, and on Thursday I met his return flight and drove him back to his flat. Missed him like the very devil, incidentally.
You keep a car here in the city?
In the garage down in the basement.
What did you do while he was away?
Felt terribly at loose ends, but then I had my car washed and greased and took a long trip.
Oh, when?
I left Monday evening.
Where'd you go?
Oh, I drove several hundred miles. Took little side roads and byways that probably aren't even on the map.
Think perhaps you could retrace your route?
Good heavens, no. Oh, I did end up somewhere near Albany before starting back Wednesday morning.
Uh-huh. Did you stay in Albany?
My memory's a bit vague, Mr. Dollar, but I'm quite sure I didn't.
Well, where did you stay over?
Well, this may sound fantastic to you.
Where?
But I haven't the least idea. I took a couple of bottles with me. And they, coupled with the fact I was in completely unfamiliar country and that at night one little roadside motel looked as good as any other, well, I just don't know.
You know, you make things sound pretty bad for yourself, Alan.
I beg your pardon?
Considering the way you've been sponging off Carlton Kenworthy, well, offhand, I'd say you had as much reason to want his grandfather out of the way as he did.
I beg your
And without
pardon.
a very good explanation of your whereabouts at the time of the murder.
Now, look here, Dollar.
But you know something? I don't think you have enough guts to have made those lily white hands of yours wield that poker.
Horrid thought.
And yet, on the other hand...
Well, yes, Dollar?
As an accessory.
Accessory?
That's right. I'll see you later, Alan.
Now, look here.
Just don't leave town. Carlton? Possibly. Alan? Well, I don't know. I don't pretend to be an expert judge of character. But I'd swear that Alan wasn't capable of killing a man. And yet, as Randy had said, unless we could somehow break Carlton's alibi. And then I got an idea. It would take time. It would be expensive. But with $189,000 of insurance involved, yeah, I decided to take a flyer. Stick my neck out all the way.
We'll return to yours truly, Johnny Dollar, in exactly 1 minute.
Constipation is something people don't talk about much, but it can be a problem for anyone, even doctors. And when constipation occurs, it's interesting to see just what doctors consider important about a laxative they might use or recommend. Well, a majority of the doctors we heard from had this to say.
A laxative should be effective, gentle, as close to natural acting as possible, and a medicine that can be used with complete confidence.
Now, X-Lax has been popular with many doctors and millions of people over the years because pleasant-tasting chocolated X-Lax is effective, Overnight, it helps you toward your normal regularity. X-Lax is gentle. Next morning, it gives you the closest thing to natural action. And that's why many doctors and millions of people use X-Lax with complete confidence. X-Lax, the laxative that helps you toward your normal regularity gently, overnight. Is X-Lax in your medicine cabinet?
And now, Act 3 of yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Expense account item 4, $489.54. That's a round-trip plane ticket to Juneau, Alaska, by way of Seattle, Washington. It wasn't until we got there that I suddenly realized I'd been pretty stupid. In spite of the fact that Alan looked very much like him, I should have taken along a picture of Carlton Kenworthy. And certainly I should have taken along a set of his fingerprints for comparison with any I might be able to pick up, or even a sample of his handwriting. But I didn't, so I'd have to work things out the best I could. Item 5, $10 for miscellaneous taxi fares. Item 6, $10 for a room at the Baranoff Hotel. And yes, I got the same story Randy Singer had about Carlton's having been there, having spent plenty of time at the bar and the bubble room, at nightclubs all over the town. But then it was item 7, $8.50 for some drinks and dinner in the main dining room that finally did the trick. Yeah, that pointed out the one small, seemingly insignificant way in which I could either prove or disprove Kenworthy's alibi. Believe me, seldom has the solution of a murder case hung on such a slender thread. Anyhow, less than 36 hours after I'd left New York, I was back at Idlewild Airport. Item 8, 10 cents for a phone call to Randy Singer. Item 9, $7.50 for a fast taxi into 18th Precinct headquarters.
Johnny, where you been anyway?
Did you get in touch with Carlton?
He's right here in my office.
Good boy, Randy. Well, hello, Carlton.
Ungodly hour to drag a man out of bed and over here.
Yeah, have a bad night of it?
Alan and I did do the town a bit. Have you found some lead, I believe you call it, on the killer of my grandfather?
Yeah, maybe.
Do you mind if I sit down?
Maybe you'd better. Where were you when your grandfather was murdered?
Why, I've told you, Juneau, Alaska.
You know Alaska pretty well?
I know nothing about it. This is my first trip and a very brief one.
You stayed at the Baranoff Hotel?
That's right. Check with them, and you'll find I was there on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
Did you eat there at the hotel?
My dinners, yes. But I fail to see what that could
Just answer my questions, would you, please?
Why not?
Okay, now. Monday night. Cocktails in the bubble room?
That's right. But what difference could that possibly...
And what did you have for dinner?
Now, that's a stupid question.
Yeah? But if I can prove you weren't where you say you were when your grandfather was killed...
If you can, Dollar, and I know that you can't, but if you could, I would gladly confess to this murder, regale you with gruesome details, tell you anything you like.
Wise guy.
I asked you what you had for dinner Monday night there at the Baranoff.
Oh, I see. You think if I say I had something that wasn't on the menu that
Just
night...
answer my question.
Or perhaps you'll check to see if the dinner was put on my bill, so I'd have to sign for it, leave a sample of my handwriting. But I paid cash for everything.
I asked about your dinner. Well?
Dollar, of all the asinine, idiotic... Shrimp cocktail, a salad, a steak, and some coffee.
Get that stuff anywhere.
But now, Dollar...
Mike?
What?
The coffee.
Really, if this is detective work, if this nonsensical questioning...
Well?
No, Mr. Dollar. I had my coffee with cream and sugar.
Oh, you ordered cream?
I used the cream that was on the table. Look here, now, of all the silly, absurd, childish
Cream was on the table?
Of course it was.
Real cream?
Yes, and the sugar was real sugar.
That's beside the point.
But what you hope to gain by all this, stupid... Oh, you mean you solved this heinous crime without knowing about the sugar, little boy?
That's right. Because you'd already told me you were never there.
What?
Because Alan went up there instead, didn't he? Using your name to establish an alibi for you.
Now, what miraculous deduction leads you to...
Because of your certainty about that cream on the table.
Of course I'm certain. Doesn't any decent restaurant put cream on the table?
No, not up there.
What?
What's that, Johnny?
But he didn't tell me that.
I don't know why, Randy. Maybe no big dairy farms yet. Maybe just plain habit. Maybe they like it better.
Dollar, how did you find out about
But on
that?
every table, even in the best places, you'll find no cream. But a little can of evaporated milk. Like to check on it?
Well, I'll be doggone.
It was Alan. Did Alan tell you that? Did Alan give me away because he thought he could get the money if I knew he was my friend only because of the money I could give him, but listen, He's as guilty as I am, Mr. Dollar.
Is he?
Of course he is, because he helped me kill my grandfather. Well, isn't he? I'll prove it. I'll prove I couldn't have killed him without his help. Do you hear me, Dollar? Do you hear me?
You think that's going to help you in court? Believe me, if I were to put down all I think about the Allen Barkers and Carlton Kenworthys and all the rest of that rotten... why bother? What's the use? Expense account total, including incidentals, the trip back to Hartford, $574 even. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Now, here's our star with a word or two about next week's program.
And a welcome to a couple of more stations that have joined us. WBRK in Pittsfield, Massachusetts, and WKNY over in Kingston, New York. We're glad to have you with us. And, man, how this network grows and grows. As for next week, well, I wonder just how you'd feel sitting on top of a nuclear explosive device, knowing the darn thing may go off any second and blow you to kingdom come. I know how I feel. And I'll tell you all about it on my program next Sunday, as usual, right here on the CBS radio station that brings you all the best in programming. The story's a real cliffhanger, and I'm sure you'll like it. Join us, won't you? Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, starring Bob Bailey, originates in Hollywood and is written, produced, and directed by Jack Johnstone. Heard in our cast were Harry Bartell, Herb Vigran, Carlton G. Young, Herb Ellis, and Jack Edwards. Be sure to join us next week, same time and station, for another exciting story of yours truly, Johnny Dollar. This is Dan Coverly speaking.
Suspense follows on the CBS Radio Network.
Better buys are your reward. And Orange Motors for a Ford. Get your orange guarantee from the largest dealer in Albany.
In the heart of Auto Row, Orange is the place to go.
Orange Motors has the parts it's true, plus 44 years of experience too. Orange Motors, if you're wise, for better service, better buys.
It's easy to have a new Ford Falcon in your garage. Orange Motors has an excellent choice of Falcons in all colors, automatic or standard shift, 2-doors or 4-door. For a nominal down payment, you can own a Ford Falcon for as low as $50 a month. Think of it, a new Ford Falcon for only $50 a month. Want one? Come to Orange Motors in Albany.
Better Ford buys, used or new, at $7.99 Central Avenue. Orange Motors, if you're wise, for better service, better buys.
Radio 59, WROW, first on the dial in Albany, Troy, and Schenectady.
Johnny Dollar.
30 days had September,
April, June, and November. All the rest have 31?
Except...
Okay, except so. Today is February 27th, so this month we get cheated at a couple of days or two. So what, and who are you?
Oh, now, Johnny, after all these years?
Oh, sure.
Sure.
Pat McCracken, Johnny, Universal Adjustment Bureau.
Right, and I... Hey, you mean I sound like that over the phone?
Yeah, just like one of the pallbearers at your own funeral, Pat.
Okay, let's get down to business.
Yeah, why not? But what's the worry about February being a little short on days this year? And every year?
Plenty, because of something that happened almost 6 years ago. A case that even the famous Johnny Dollar couldn't solve.
Oh, look, if you ever start adding up all the cases I haven't solved. Hey, wait a minute, 6 years ago?
That's right.
Bernard Margot.
That's right.
Barney the Bum.
Yeah, the cheap hoodlum who died when he jumped off the Triborough Bridge in New York back there in
Hold it, Pat. You know as well as I do that whole thing was a phony so that big Mike Killian could collect Barney's $300,000 insurance, remember?
Well, I seem to remember you spending a few thousand of the company's money trying to prove that. But I also remember you didn't even get to first base.
Because I couldn't find Barney, couldn't find where he'd skipped to.
But if you could now, before the 1st of March, you'd save the company that $300,000.
Pat, you mean you got a lead on him?
Maybe. Want to come over here and talk about it?
Brother, I sure do. CBS Radio.
Radio brings you Bob Bailey in the exciting adventures of the man with the action-packed expense account, America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Munch, munch, munch a bunch of Fritos, corn chips. It's not polite to smack your lips, but you can't help it with Fritos, corn chips. Munch, munch, munch a bunch of Fritos, corn chips.
Next time you want something to munch on, try Fritos. They're so crisp, so tasty, so good. You'll see right away why we say Fritos are the corn chips made to munch. Fill a big bowl with Fritos next time you settle down to watch your favorite TV program. Boy, there's contentment in every munch.
Munch, munch, munch a bunch of Fritos, corn chips.
Fritos are golden chips of corn, as nutritious as they are delicious. So full of good, crisp flavor, such good-for-you nourishment. They're the ideal snack for grown-ups and children alike. Get a bag of Fritos corn chips today and munch a bunch. Fritos, Fritos corn chips.
Munch, munch, munch a bunch of Fritos, corn chips.
And now, Act One of yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to the Universal Adjustment Bureau, Home Office, Hartford, Connecticut. Following is an account of expenses incurred during my investigation of the look before the leap matter. Barney Margot. Barney the bum. A strong arm for Big Mike Killian. And his case had made me look like a fool. So, expense account item one, $1.25 for a cab to Pat McCracken's office.
Now, this is one you'd really like to clean up, isn't it, Johnny? Sit down.
Pat, Eastern Trust and Insurance were crazy in the first place when they issued a big policy on the cheap mobster.
I know.
When they let him name Big Mike Killian as the beneficiary. Well, anybody with half a brain should have known something was wrong with it.
I know, Johnny.
And then to top it all by waving the suicide clause.
I know. The minute we found out about it, we asked them to cancel it, but we were too late. Barney Margot had apparently jumped off the bridge. And neither you nor the police nor anybody else at that time could prove that he hadn't.
And just because some of Barney's clothes were found in the water, because of that phony suicide note he left on the bridge.
Don't forget the witness, Johnny, the girl who saw him alone out there on the bridge before he disappeared.
Yeah, I
who
remember.
also saw something, presumably his body, topple off into the water.
Mady Prescott was her name.
Yeah, that's the one. And since Barney had been seen going onto the bridge but didn't show up after what she saw...
So they took Big Mike Killian's word for it that Barney made the leap.
That's right.
Whereupon Big Mike immediately claimed the insurance.
However, Johnny, Killian has not been paid that $300,000, nor will he be if you can produce Barney Margot in time.
Yeah, but how much time?
Well, according to the final decision of the courts, while we were fighting this payment, unless he's picked up before March 1st...
Oh, are you kidding, Pat? Today's the 27th of February, and
Yes.
according to that little rhyme you tried to charm me with over the phone,
Yes.
tomorrow is the last
Johnny,
possible chance.
Johnny, will you listen?
Yeah, well...
The girl, that Mady Prescott, just came back from Paris.
Paris? Well, what's that got to do
She
with it?
made a report to the police, and they passed it on to us. She says that only a few weeks ago, right there in Paris, she saw Bernard Margot.
Oh? Oh.
Yeah. Thanks to all the international red tape involved, there's no way we can possibly get him back here in time.
Well, even so...
What's more, all the proof in the world that he's still alive is no good unless he himself is brought back to New York.
Oh, now, wait.
Well, that was the decision of the courts. That's the way it stands.
Oh, great.
But, Johnny, if you somehow, and believe me, not only I, but the police will close their eyes to whatever method you might have to use, if you could somehow get him back here in time, well, I'm thinking about a $10,000 fee, in addition to your expense account if you produce him. Nothing, of course, if you don't.
Before March 1st, it's impossible.
Yes, I know.
So, Pat, I'm going to try.
Are you smoking more now, but enjoying it less? Have a real cigarette, have a Camel. The best tobacco makes the very best smoke. Have a real cigarette, have a Camel. Are you looking for flavor and mildness? Have a real cigarette, have a Camel. The best tobacco makes the very best smoke. Have a real cigarette, have a Camel.
If you're smoking more today, but enjoying it less, try Camel's. The Camel blend of costly Turkish and domestic tobaccos has never been equal for rich flavor, easygoing mildness, real smoking satisfaction every time you light up. The best tobacco makes the best smoke.
Have a real cigarette, a real cigarette, a real cigarette. Have a Camel.
And now, Act Two of yours truly, Johnny Dollar, and the look before the leap matter.
Item 2, 1050 taxi, a train to New York, and a cab to the 10th floor apartment of Miss Mady Prescott.
I know, Mr. Dollar. My testimony that I'd seen him on the bridge and that I'd seen him drop off into the
Well,
water.
that testimony, Miss Prescott, may cost the insurance company $300,000 unless I can produce Barney Margot before March 1st.
Before March 1st?
Yeah, and you say that you saw him in Paris.
At an antique shop, run by a Monsieur Dubuisson.
Dubuisson?
What?
Nothing. Go on.
Well, I was startled, to say the least. But I'm certain it was he. Absolutely sure of it.
Well, you were also pretty certain you'd seen him go off that bridge.
I know, but I must have been wrong at that time.
So you could also be wrong now.
I know.
But it's the only thing I have to go on. And you know, since you mentioned the name Dubuisson... Well, thanks very much, Miss Prescott. Dubuisson's a fence. They're in Paris. Exactly the sort of character Barney the Bum might tie up with. Perhaps even as a contact for Big Mike Killian. As I stepped into the self-service elevator to get back to the street, I wondered. But I didn't wonder for long about anything.
Okay, Jimmy, push that stop button.
Yeah, sure, Milford.
Between floors.
Yeah.
All right, what's the idea?
Johnny Dollar, huh?
Maybe.
So there's only one reason you'd be calling on the Prescott date.
What of it?
Big Mike didn't like you interfering when poor Barney died. He don't like it now.
Oh, well, that's just too bad.
In fact, he don't like you. Now, Jimmy, come on.
No!
Yeah. Now, James, leave us dump this stiff in the basement.
It was the building superintendent who found me there in the basement, got me back on my feet again. Item 3, 10 cents for a call to one of the transatlantic airlines. Item 4, $31 for a cablegram. Then item 5, $1 for a cab to the 18th Precinct headquarters, my old pal Randy Singer.
Sure, Johnny. A couple of Big Mike Killian's boys. Must have been. You want me to have them picked up?
No.
Only I warn you, Killian will have an alibi for him, sure as gun.
Don't worry about him. I'll take care of that pair myself.
Well, now, Johnny.
And, Randy, all I ask is that you stand by until I get back here from Paris.
Paris?
Somehow I got to perform a miracle. I got to bring Barney Margot back here before March 1st. Today's the 27th. That means I have until midnight tomorrow night. So long, Randy.
Johnny, wait a minute.
Sorry, but every second counts, and I just have time to catch a plane.
Hey, Johnny, listen.
So long, baby, and wish me luck. I'm going to need it.
Act 3 of yours truly, Johnny Dollar, in just a moment.
Meet star Stuart Irwin.
Nothing's worse for an actor than a nasty cold. To feel better quickly, I take wonderful four-way cold tablets. The fast way to relieve cold distress.
Right. Tests of all the leading cold tablets proved four-way fastest acting. Four-way starts in minutes to relieve muscular pains, headache, reduce fever, calm upset stomach, also overcomes irregularity.
Take my advice. For your next cold, take four-way cold tablets. The fast way to relieve those cold miseries.
Four-way, only 29 cents.
And now here's a word about another fine product of Grove Laboratories. Does dandruff dull your hair, leave scalp itchy? Get Fitch Dandruff Remover Shampoo and get rid of unsightly dandruff in 3 minutes. 3 minutes with Fitch regularly is guaranteed to keep embarrassing dandruff away forever. Apply Fitch before wetting hair. Rub in 1 minute. Add water. Lather 1 minute. Rinse 1 minute. Every trace of dandruff goes down the drain. 3 minutes with Fitch. Unsightly dandruff's gone. Fitch can also leave your hair up to 35% brighter. Fitch Dandruff Remover Shampoo. And now, Act 3 of yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Item 6, $420 for a plane ticket to Paris. When we landed at Orly, I put in a call to Louis Dumassac, who calls himself a Chagris. If anyone in all of Paris knows the underworld, believe me, it's the Gray Cat. But I got no answer. Item 7, then, $2 American for a cab to the so-called antique shop of Francois Dubuisson. It was there that Mady Prescott swore she'd seen Barney Margot. I knew better than to expect any real help from him, but he was my only chance, and time was running out.
Ah, bonjour, monsieur. Qu'est-ce que vous devez... Ah, Monsieur Johnny Dollar, the meddling American.
That's right, Dubuisson.
And to what does the fair city of Paris owe the honor of your presence, eh?
Bernard Margot.
Margot?
That's right. I want to know where he is, where I can find him.
Now, by what could you possibly think I might know this Bernard Margot?
Oh, look, don't start beating about the bush.
And do you think that I would tell you anything of him if I did?
Now, look, Dubuisson.
I have not forget the trouble you have made for me when you last come here. No. Maurice.
Monsieur?
Oh, no, you don't. Just stay where you are, Maurice.
Pardon? Monsieur Dollar.
I suppose this gorilla's your bodyguard?
Not at all.
Well, if he tries to get rough, or you try any tricks, Dubuisson...
You are a smart man, Monsieur Dollar, but also a fool.
Yeah?
Maurice, you have my permission to leave now to arrange the funeral of your friend.
Ah, bien.
You see, your alarm was for nothing.
Okay. But now, about this Barney Margot.
I told you I knew nothing of him. And even if I did, do you forget, monsieur, that you have no authority here in France?
Now, you listen.
In other words, why do you waste your time when you know that all you will learn from me is nothing?
Threats, even the promise of a bribe got me nowhere. So I left him, and again I put in a call to Louis Dumassac, my underworld contact. This time the line was busy, at least it meant he was home. So item 8, 320 American for a cab to the dingy little apartment at the far end of the Rue de Pas de la Mule. It's one of the most disreputable-looking buildings in the whole city. Dirty, squalid, falling apart at the seams. And, of course, Le Chat Gris had to live at the top of 4 long flights. When I finally got up there, feeling slightly winded, I noticed that his door at the end of the gas-lit hallway was half open. And I could see him inside, lying on the floor, the telephone dangling beside him. Hey, Louis. Dumassac.
Ah.
Huh?
Bien.
Maurice.
Pour vous, monsieur. Oh.
Hello, I'm Burgess Meredith. Did you know there are over 3 million persons in America who are hard of hearing and not doing anything about it? Maybe you or some member of your family is hard of hearing. Well, fortunately, I've never had this problem. Some of my friends and family have. Now, a few years ago, your excuse might have been that you didn't want to wear a bulky hearing aid. But today, it's a different story. I've just seen the new Super 60 hearing glasses developed by Mako Electronics. If I hadn't known they were hearing glasses, I would have guessed them to be regular eyeglasses. It's a wonderful way for any hard of hearing person to conceal a hearing loss. There are styles for both men and women. For an interesting free booklet on hearing glasses for yourself or a friend, stop in at Mako or write to Hearing Glasses, CBS, 485 Madison Avenue, New York. Don't wait until your hearing gets worse. It may be too late. Send for your booklet today. Write CBS, 485 Madison Avenue, New York.
And now, Act 4 of yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Only my sudden arrival had kept Maurice from killing Louis Dumassac. It got me that clout on the head. But Maurice was gone now. After working over Louis for a few minutes, pouring some cognac into him, he finally came around.
Oh, Monsieur Dollar.
Yeah, that's the stuff, Louis. Just let me help you up here on this couch.
Oh, but so much pain.
Yeah, you really got it, brother.
Only for you, my oldest, my dearest friend, would I suffer so?
Yeah, here, take another slug of this.
No, alas. Even that will not mend my broken head.
Would a couple of $100 American help?
Eh? Oh?
Did you get my cablegram?
Oh, oui. And I found him for you.
Barney? Where?
It is worth perhaps $500.
$300.
But, monsieur...
Okay, $350. Where is he?
But if Monsieur Dubuisson finds out that it was I who took care of Barney Margot...
He already knows that I'm here. That's why he sent that Maurice character to arrange for a funeral.
Funeral?
And he was talking about your funeral. But now, wait. You say you've taken care of Barney the Bum?
It would perhaps be worth a little extra if I were to have him all tied up and waiting for you.
What? Listen, if you can actually deliver him to me, I'll give you $1,000 right now.
But I can, monsieur.
Where is he?
And perhaps 2,000 if I've arranged a way to get you both out of the country, back to the United States, without anybody knowing about it.
Yeah, 2,000. I'll cable it to you if I can get him back to the States before midnight tonight.
Oh, before midnight, you say?
New York time.
Well, we can try, monsieur.
Good. Then let's get going.
But first, perhaps I'd better accept the 1,000 just in case.
All right. All or nothing. $2,500 if I make it.
Then come. First, we get Barney out of the closet here.
Out of this closet here in your room?
But of course.
Well, I'll be.
And then we drive to the airfield where the plane is waiting for you.
Believe me, we'd never have gotten away with a thing like this back in the States, or anywhere else I can think of, or without the help of the Chagris. After making sure that Barney was securely bound and gagged, we piled him into a car that de Marsac said was his, only I doubt it. We headed westward through Versailles to the city of... Well, maybe for diplomatic reasons, I better not mention the name of it. Anyhow, their little airport was an old amphibian plane waiting for us. This time it was the pilot I had to haggle with, $7,000 for the trip. But there were $300,000 at stake. Item 9 for a transatlantic call to Randy Singer in New York.
No, listen, Johnny. This is too wild, too crazy.
You got the ID for this plane? You've written it down?
Sure I have, but Johnny...
And all you have to do is get us a clearance to land, if we make it.
You're out of your mind. This stunt could cause an international incident that even the United Nations couldn't...
You want Barney to bum, don't you?
Well, of course we
do. Then I'll lay him right in your lap if you'll hang up the phone so that we can make our takeoff.
Johnny, listen to me.
Randy, I haven't got any more time to talk, because if I don't get Barney back there before midnight tonight...
No, Johnny, no, listen...
See you in New York. I hope. Oh, that plane trip was something I'll never forget. Sure, on the ground, the big amphibian looked pretty good. But up in the air, it shuddered and shook like the old crated really was. And I wondered if she had enough gas aboard. What sort of double talk the pilot used to keep us from being ordered down, I'll never know. Any second, I expected a bunch of fighter planes to start buzzing us. But somehow we made it. And Randy, bless his heart, and I don't know how he did it, Randy got us a clearance to land. Matter of fact, he even had an escort waiting for us to haul Barney off to the clink and take me back to the office at headquarters. Yeah, by some miracle, it all worked out. Except for one thing.
But so help me, Johnny, if you ever again try to pull a thing like... You're falling asleep again, huh? Just like you did all the way in from the airport. Well, I can't say that I blame you. Mission accomplished, all that sort of stuff.
Mission accomplished,
Huh?
Did you happen to notice what time it was when we sat down at the airport?
Sure, right after midnight, 12:07.
Just exactly 7 minutes too late.
Too late?
Ruling in the courts, don't you get
Johnny.
it, Randy? In order to save the company paying off that 300,000 clams, I had to get him back here before midnight. Last night, February 28th, before the 1st of March.
Oh, no,
so
wait.
the fortune I've run up in expenses has to come out of my own pocket.
Johnny.
And I thought I was going to make myself a cool $10,000 fee.
Listen.
You were right, Randy. I should have known better. It was crazy. The whole idea was completely crazy right from the beginning.
Johnny, will you listen to
if
me?
I had any sense, I'd blow my brains out 7 minutes after midnight.
That's right, February 28th. So you've forgotten just one little thing.
Yeah.
This just happens to be 1960.
So what? I had to get that punk back here before the 1st of...
Yeah, leap year.
Randy.
That's right. So today just happens to be the day before the 1st of March, February 29th.
Oh, no. You mean I made it after all? You mean I... Oh, no.
It's a fact, Johnny. Fact.
You know something? I should have blown my brains out for forgetting that extra day this month, this year. But instead, I'll just take that $10,000 in fees. As for the expense account, hold your hat. $9,571. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Our star will return in just a moment.
Constipation is something people don't talk about much, but it can be a problem for anyone, even doctors. And when constipation occurs, it's interesting to see just what doctors consider important about a laxative they might use or recommend. Well, a majority of the doctors we heard from had this to say.
A laxative should be effective, gentle, as close to natural acting as possible, and a medicine that can be used with complete confidence.
Now, X-Lax has been popular with many doctors and millions of people over the years because pleasant-tasting chocolated X-Lax is effective. Overnight, it helps you toward your normal regularity. X-Lax is gentle. Next morning, it gives you the closest thing to natural action. And that's why many doctors and millions of people use X-Lax with complete confidence. X-Lax, the laxative that helps you toward your normal regularity gently, overnight. Is X-Lax in your medicine cabinet?
Now, here's our star with something to think about. On account of its Brotherhood Week, Johnny?
John, it's a thought for this week and every week, and it's simply this. In my job, I run across all sorts of people, both the right guys and the wrong ones. And this much I'm sure of. A crook is a crook in any place, in any language. He's just no good. But an honest man, a man who respects the law and the rights of his fellow humans, regardless of his hue, his origin, or his accent, well, believe me, that one is yours truly with Johnny Dollar.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, starring Bob Bailey, originates in Hollywood and is written, produced, and directed by Jack Johnstone. Heard in our cast were Virginia Gregg, Lawrence Dobkin, Forrest Lewis, Frank Gerstle, Herb Vigran, and Tony Barrett. Be sure to join us next week, same time and station, for another exciting story of yours truly, Johnny Dollar. This is John Wall speaking.
Listen next to Suspense on the CBS Radio Network.
Hiya, folks. Jimmy Durante, in person. And I'd like to tell you about some of the things that's close to my heart.
Well, Jimmy, I'm sure one thing that's close to everybody's heart is the Heart Fund. And that's especially true today, Heart Sunday.
Hey, that voice sounds very familiar.
Well, it should, Jimmy. It's me, Gary Moore.
That's who that is, Junior.
Yeah, I thought I'd help you tell the folks how important Heart Sunday is.
Everybody wants to get into the act.
Well, I certainly hope you're right, Schnoz. We want everybody to get into the act to help fight our nation's #1 health enemy, heart disease. And the best way to do that is by supporting the Heart Fund, our #1 defense. You planned to say something like that, didn't you, Jimmy?
I did indeed.
So, friends, when your Heart Fund volunteer calls on you today, Heart Sunday, remember your dollars will help our scientists develop new and better ways to safeguard healthy hearts and save those that are already afflicted.
Come on, folks. Dig deep for your contributions to the Heart Fund.
Believe me, it'll do your heart good, too.
Radio 59, WROW, with the news service unmatched in the Tri-Cities.
The Greater Southwest Insurance Company office in Kingman, Arizona. The following is an account of expenses incurred during my investigation of the Red Rock matter. Expense account item 1, $1.70 for a telegram to Jake Kessler giving him my flight time. Item 2, $169 even, plane fare and incidentals, Hartford to New York to Las Vegas, Nevada. Early the next morning then, Jake was there at the Vegas airport waiting for me. Tall, angular, well-tanned, wearing jeans, a denim shirt, high-heeled boots, and a broad-brimmed hat. Well, he looked like he should have been riding a range pony instead of a car. We headed east on 95 through Boulder City, then south toward Kingman, Arizona.
All right, now, Johnny, now that we got the how-to-dos over with, I better tell you why I called you out here.
Hey, you said something about a murder, Jake.
We'll know for sure when we get down to Kingman. Now, back in '52, Johnny, a couple of boys named Ralph Garrett and Jerry Bisbee were doing quite a bit of prospecting around these parts.
Gold?
Gold, silver, copper, anything they could find. Well, how they ever joined up together, nobody could rightly understand it.
Now, why do you say that?
Well, Ralph was okay. Not much money, but a nice wife, home, family. But Jerry Bisbee, well, the town had been hoping he'd go somewhere else for years.
Ah, I see.
Anyhow, one day they set out to pound the rocks up near the town of Chloride over near Mount Tipton. A month or so later, though, Jerry Bisbee came back to Kingman alone.
Oh?
Folks asked him where Ralph Garrett was. He said Ralph had left him to go out and get a job in California.
And left Bisbee with the rights to all their claims?
Well, now, that wasn't even talked about. Not then.
Yeah, well, go on, Jake.
Anyhow, Ralph's wife claimed it was all a big lie, that Bisbee had taken Ralph out there in the desert and killed him.
But why? Why did she think that?
Claimed Ralph almost hadn't gone on that particular trip, that he'd gotten suspicious of Bisbee, that he was scared of him, and that Ralph wouldn't have just up and left her like that.
Well, did she tell this to the police?
Sure did. So they looked around all over the state, even notified the boys over in California, but nobody couldn't find a sign of Ralph.
I see.
So then she got a hold of some relative she has over in the state's attorney's office over in Phoenix. And Johnny, before you knew it, Jerry Bisbee was up on trial for murder.
Oh, but on such flimsy evidence and without a body.
Sure. Jerry was acquitted. Now, like I say, that was back in '52. But we only paid off the insurance on Ralph about a year ago, lacking any legal proof that Ralph was dead until that statute of limitations said he had to be here or something.
Yeah, I know. But now about this man Bisbee. Does he still live in Kingman?
No, Johnny. As soon as that trial was over, he sold his little place, left town, and never come back.
And with no actual proof that he'd killed his partner?
Now, just a minute.
Yeah?
Didn't your Eastern papers carry anything about that big windstorm we had out here last week?
Windstorm?
Biggest one we've had in years. Must have blew 70, 80 mile an hour. Johnny.
Oh, yeah, I guess I did read something about that.
Sure you did.
Yeah, I remember now. That wind uncovered the bones of a man who'd apparently become lost somewhere out here in this desert some years ago.
Lost, huh?
What do you mean?
There's something the papers didn't say, Johnny. There was a bullet hole in the back of the skull.
Oh.
From exactly the same caliber as the old Winchester 94 Jerry Bisbee'd always carried with him.
Then it looks like the skeleton is Ralph Garrett's. Murdered and buried out there by this Jerry Bisbee.
Well, now, there's only one person can identify that skeleton for sure, Johnny.
Who's that?
Young Doc Blessing. And if we're lucky, we'll find him awaiting for us in Kingman.
Well, that was all Jake had to say about the matter until we could talk to Dr. Blessing. When we got to Jake's office there in Kingman, we found a note in the door from Dr. Blessing asking us to wait for him. So we sat there and waited.
And then he came here and... Rat the dang flies. Think out here in this nice, clean desert air, they wouldn't... There you are! Oh, I won't be able to hear out of this here for a week.
Yeah, I thought you were trying to knock your head off there for a minute.
I almost did.
But you were saying that young Doc Blessing took over his father's practice out here.
Yeah, a couple of years ago. And that included all the records his pa had always kept, complete records of every case he'd ever handled. Notes, prescriptions, x-rays, everything. Boxes, crates, cartons of them, Johnny. And that's what young Doc's looking into right now, all those old records.
Why, Jake?
Because he had a vague remembrance that one time, a long while ago, his pa... Oh, howdy, Doc.
Jake, I take it you're Johnny Dollar.
That's right.
I'm Doc Blessing. Glad you're here, Dollar. Jake, I've been over at police headquarters.
And you found something, Doc?
Yes, Doctor.
Now, you must understand this, Dollar. The police around here are fine. Good state authorities, too, but this thing may be beyond their reach.
What'd you find in your pa's old records?
Jake, I found evidence, including x-rays, that proved that my father patched up a broken thigh for Ralph Garrett back in '47. X-rays clearly showed the steel femoral plate he used to pin two sections of bone together.
Then, Doc...
It's been kept from the papers, Dollar. But on the skeleton they found in the desert was that very same fractured thigh bone and the stainless steel plate that my father...
I knew it.
Well, there's no question about it. That skeleton is Ralph Garrett's.
Well...
And with that bullet hole from Jerry Bisbee's gun in the skull.
Exactly.
Or a gun like Bisbee's.
Yeah, now, don't start kidding yourself, Johnny.
Yeah, now, Dollar,
Okay, you got a point. It looks as though Bisbee murdered him, all right.
Of course he did. Why else would he skip out after the trial? So what you got to do, Johnny, is get out and find it. Bring him back to justice. That's all.
That's all?
Well, yes.
Oh, sure.
Next time you refresh, enjoy a frosty, ice-cold Pepsi-Cola.
Sociability, Charlie.
All right, Kay, how's this? Pepsi is light, refreshes without filling. You like to refresh? Have a Pepsi right now.
Well, offer it to everybody, Charlie.
I will. Enjoy Pepsi at the fountain. It's delicious at home, too. Have one at lunch or with a snack.
Charlie.
At the beach or at dinner. Wherever you go, wherever you're thirsty, Pepsi is there.
It's here, too, in our Be Sociable song.
Be sociable, look smart, keep up to date with Pepsi. Drink light, refreshing Pepsi. Stay young and fair and debonair. Be sociable, have a Pepsi.
For the weekend, have plenty of Pepsi around. Pick up an extra carton today. CK, I'm sociable.
With Pepsi, everyone is.
And now, the second act of yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Now, Jake, you say that right after his trial, Bisbee left town.
And no forwarding address, and I don't need to tell you nobody's seen hide nor hair of him since.
Well, what happened to the rights to the mining claims?
Sold them out, didn't he, Doc?
That's correct. Did he get much money for them?
No. And, of course, he had to share and share alike with Ralph's widow.
Hey, Doc, you say you just saw the police.
Yeah, Dollar, and of course they're certain, too, that Bisbee murdered Ralph Garrett. On the strength of the evidence I was able to provide for him.
Any idea how they plan to proceed?
Yeah, I assume they've notified the state police and that they'll put out bulletins all over the country. All of which will take time, of course.
Yeah, in other words, they have no idea whatsoever where Jerry Bisbee might be by now.
Well, after all, Johnny, after all these years.
Yeah.
Bisbee may have gone anywhere after he left here, and since he alone had knowledge of his guilt at that time.
Yeah. So all I have to do is perform a slight miracle and... Hey, wait, you say that he was a prospector while he was living here in Kingman.
That's right.
Well, what else did he do?
Well, he kind of worked some of the mines now and then, enough to keep him in food and clothes and tobacco's all.
And liquor, of course. He was a heavy, disagreeable drinker.
But that's all.
It's the only work he knew. Now, I got some house calls to make. If I can be of any further help.
Yeah, well, maybe that gives me an idea.
Yeah?
No, you go ahead, Doc. I can work on it right here.
Very well. Don't hesitate to call me.
What's this idea, Johnny?
Just let me use this phone.
Well, sure, go ahead.
My first call was to the Bureau of Mines in Washington. I practically had to have them check me out with the FBI before they'd give me the information I wanted. But finally, in the course of running up a $27 phone bill, that's item 3 on the expense account.
Yes, Mr. Dollar, I've located a listing of mining claims in the name of Jerry Bisbee.
Then he's still prospecting.
The list begins with 1944. All claims up to 1952 were in Arizona.
Yeah.
Would you like me to read them to you?
No, thanks. What I'm interested in is recent claims, and I've got a suspicion they won't be in Arizona.
Let me see now. Yes, you're quite right.
Yeah?
Within the past few years, he's apparently been doing some prospecting in the state of Nevada.
Where?
Well, in several rather widely separate... Well, of course, the office in Carson City could give you more up-to-date information than we have.
Yeah, you're right. I'll call him. Thanks very much.
Progress?
Yeah, Jake. It looks like maybe we're getting somewhere.
I knew you would, Johnny.
But on my call to Carson City, capital of Nevada, I ran into a stone wall.
Well, I'm sorry, sir, but I have no authority to give out such information over the phone.
All right, now, listen, please,
when
miss.
Mr. Harker gets back to the office, if you care to call back in 2 or 3 hours.
Look, isn't there somebody else there who can give me the information I need? All I want...
Without Mr. Harker's authorization? I doubt it, sir.
But look, miss, I just want to get...
If you were to come here in person and show the proper credentials.
Yeah, sure, thanks.
What's the matter with him up there, Johnny?
Oh, I don't know. Jake.
Yeah?
Is there anybody around here who owns a plane?
An airplane?
Well?
Well, there's young Kenny McManus has a little single...
Then come on, let's find him and see if he'd like to fly a charter job. Expense account item 4, $175 to Kenny McManus for the use of his plane and his service as pilot. Only I'm not so sure I would have chartered that particular plane if I'd taken time for a real good look at it before we started off. Yeah, with 2 passengers, a full load of gas, and my luggage, it was hardly... Well, let's face it. It was old and definitely underpowered for such a trip. We missed the tops of several mountains by only inches along the way. But somehow, shortly after noon, we landed in the Nevada capital. Item 5, $1 to one of the lads at the hangar for a ride into the local bureau representative. Mr. Harker was somewhat reticent until I mentioned one word.
What was that, Mr. Dollar?
Murder, Mr. Harker. I want this man Bisbee for murder.
I see. And I'm certain I can be of help to you.
And now, thanks to Mr. Harker's cooperation, I finally really got on Jerry Bisbee's trail. Item 6, $50. Deposit on a rental car, and I headed due east. I headed for the lively old ghost town of Virginia City. I didn't know I was also heading into one of the most dangerous situations in my whole career.
A real cigarette. Have a Camel. Have a Camel cigarette. Have a real cigarette. Have a Camel. Have a Camel cigarette. Best tobacco makes the best smoke. Have a Camel cigarette. Best tobacco makes the best smoke. Have a Camel cigarette.
If you're smoking more these days, but enjoying it less, change to Camels. The Camel blend of costly tobaccos has never been equaled for real smoking satisfaction. Have a real cigarette.
Have a Camel.
Start to really enjoy smoking again.
Now back to yours truly, Johnny Dollar and the Red Rock Matter.
Virginia City is fabulous. A monument to the rip-roaring days of the Comstock Lode. When all too often a man's life depended on how fast he could draw, or how well he could defend a hunk of barren ground that he chipped away at in the hope it would give up millions of dollars worth of gold-bearing quartz, or the heavy blue mud so rich in silver ore. Still standing are many of the colorful buildings put up in the 1860s. Piper's Opera House. You picked up your key at the Bucket of Blood Saloon. There was the office of the Territorial Enterprise that carried editorials by Mark Twain. The famous Crystal Bar. The gambling halls where debts were paid in dust and nuggets. Famous names, too. O'Reilly and McLaughlin, Comstock and Gould, McKay and Mills, Fair, Flood, and O'Brien. Yeah, the Bonanza Kings. All of them had meant fabulous wealth in the days of the gold rush. Yep, you can almost see their ghosts walking the streets. Well, I found a fount of local information and a grizzled old character parked on a rocker in front of one of the ancient saloons.
Bisbee, son. Jerry Bisbee.
Yes, sir, that's right.
Well, if I was you, I'd stay away from him. Yes, I would.
Well, why do you say that, sir?
Because, son, that D4 man's crazy. Staying up there in that shack on top of Red Rock Pass.
Red Rock?
Working away at that worthless claim he has up there.
Oh, where is Red Rock Pass?
About halfway up 12-mile road over there. There's a wagon track up the pass.
Well, look, can I make it with this car of mine?
Yeah, that pretty new car? No. It take a horse or a burro to get... Yeah, but you ain't going up to see that crazy Bisbee.
Why not? Well?
Whoa, he'd catch you anywhere near that mine of his. Then he'd shoot you first and find out who you was after.
Yeah, well, I'll have to take that chance.
Oh, no, you...
Thanks a lot, old-timer. At Martin's stable, I had to shell out a $100 deposit when they learned I was going up into Red Rock Pass. And again, I got a warning about running into Bisbee. But I made sure my gun was free in the holster and set out for the pass. It was after 3 when I left the 12-mile road and nearly sundown by the time I reached the top of the pass. And there I found Jerry Bisbee's weathered old shack, but no sign of Bisbee himself. Bisbee! Jerry Bisbee! And then I saw the trail leading to the little mine on the face of a cliff. So I started over toward it, walking around the huge red boulders in my path, scattered about as though some giant hand many centuries ago. Whoops!
That's fair enough.
Bisbee!
Get back on that horse and get out of here.
Sorry, but I gotta talk to you.
You see this here gun?
Oh, I see it all right.
Shoot the eye out and a snake with it. Besides, I know why you come here.
Do you?
Because
maybe...
they found Ralph Garrett's bones down to the desert.
That's right.
But you won't take me any third.
Don't be too sure of that.
Talk up, boy. Son, I don't hear very good.
I said I'm going to take you in for murder.
Talk up, I said. Besides, you got no right to take me in.
Wrong, Bisbee. You hear me? I say you're wrong.
Wrong, am I? Didn't they try me once for murdering? Didn't they let me free?
So what? That doesn't mean I
So you and anybody else ought to know they can't try a man twice for the same thing.
Holy smoke, he's right.
Them fools down there, they let me off. So now there's nothing you or anybody else can do about it. So get out. I said get out of here.
A well-aimed shot kicked up the sand in front of me. I ducked behind a pile of boulders and crouched there, waiting to see what he'd do next. Then I heard it from a sort of hole under one of the rocks. A rattlesnake, almost to my feet. Slowly, carefully, I pulled out my gun. I took aim and... Hey, there were others in there. There must have been a nest of them.
No use, boy. I'm coming over there to get you.
Yeah, well, listen.
I'm going to kill you.
There was another rock to my left, a boulder that maybe I could reach without his seeing me. And the sound of the rappers at my feet wasn't exactly friendly. So I bent down low and made a dash for it. Brother, that time I could practically taste the lead.
It's no good, boy. You're not so smart. Because from where you are now, you ain't got no place to go. Not without me having a shot at you. And all it's going to take me is one clear shot.
Bisbee, can you hear me?
And this rock pile where you was, I can get to it without you having a shot at me. So I got you cornered, boy.
Yeah, he was right. He knew it and I know it. Through a narrow cleft in the rock in front of me, too narrow even to push the barrel of my pistol, I could see him advancing slowly toward the pile of boulders where I'd left the nest of rattlers. But if he was so deaf, he'd never hear them. Oh, Bisbee. Hey, Bisbee, listen to me.
Talk up. You got anything to say?
Stay away from that pile of rocks.
I'm going to kill you.
Hey, look, I said stay away from that pile of rocks.
I'm going to kill you dead. Unless you throw out your gun and come out here with your hands up over your head. Come on out of there.
Yeah. Okay. I'll do it.
What you say?
I said yes. Here, look. Here's my gun.
You coming out like I told you?
Yes, look. With my hands up.
Shows what a fool you are.
What?
Because I'm going to kill you anyway. The same as I did Ralph Garrett.
Bisbee. Hey, Bisbee, wait. Stay away from those rocks.
If you got another gun hit on you, it'll do you no good.
Bisbee! Things happened fast. He jumped backward into the protection of the rock pile, and he raised and aimed his gun to shoot me down. But a sudden movement among the angry nest of rattlesnakes.
No! Rattlesnakes! No!
By the time I got over to him and hauled him out of that pit of death, half a dozen of the deadly rattlers must have struck him. He died before I could get him back to Virginia City. Yeah, justice again. In one of her own inscrutable ways. Expense account total, including a couple of good stiff drinks. Then the trip on back to Hartford, $496.25. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Hi, this is Dennis James. Say, remember way back when this melody was popular? There's something very special about a long-time favorite, isn't there? Well, folks feel the same way about one of Kellogg's favorites, Kellogg's All Bran. Going on 41 years now, it's been America's most popular good food way to fight irregularity from lack of bulk. Because it's whole bran, Kellogg's All Bran gentles away irregularity safely and reliably. And because it's deep toasted for extra crispness, it never gets mushy in milk. There's only one All Bran, Kellogg's All Bran. That's ALL-BRAN. Kellogg's All Brand.
Now, here's our star to tell you about next week's story.
Well, next week, the canned canary matter. You heard it right. And I promise you that title is a real fooler. Join us, won't you? Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Johnny Dollar, starring Bob Bailey, originates in Hollywood and is written, produced, and directed by Jack Johnstone. Heard in our cast were Virginia Gregg, Arlie Bear, Harry Bartell, Vic Perrin, John Daner, Will Wright, Tom Hanley, and Bill James. Be sure to join us next week, same time and station, for another exciting story of yours truly, Johnny Dollar. This is John Wall speaking. Suspense follows on the CBS Radio Network.
You know, Dooley, I've been reading up on hypnosis. Come here and let me try it on you.
I am an officer of the law and don't approve of making a man divulge his secrets. However, I'll stand by in case there's criminology involved.
I just want to clear up some of his problems, Officer Suggs. But I haven't got any problems. I'm the soul of contentment. Maybe that's your trouble. You're too contented. Lie down, Dooley. You're going to sleep. I feel so good. He's under my influence. Now, little tyke, get up. Go straight to the beer of your choice.
Astounding. He's heading for Utica Club.
'Cause Utica Club will still take the trouble to age beer the natural way. Utica Club, you see.
He's got no problem. He's a happy, well-adjusted beer mug.
Brewed by the West End Brewing Company of Utica, New York.
You're tuned to WROW Radio in Albany, New York. Time, 5:30.